Okay, so now after marking these items into three kinds of cash flow activities, I'm going to organize the rows a little bit. This is really an Excel operation. I'm going to put them all together based on their categories. So right here I have a change of plant equipment. I'm going to right click on the row number, okay, and then I will cut it. And I'm going to insert the cut cell underneath. All right, and then for this operating activities, okay, you see it's put together among all the financing activities. I just move it all the way up. Okay, insert cut cells. And then I have this financing activities. I'm going to select them all, and I need to hit the shift button, and then cut them all, and then put them, insert them right underneath. Okay, so now I have this three types of activities all sorted together. Now I can just delete the marks, and then I'm going to insert the blank row and say this is the net change of cash from operating activities. Okay, and this will be the sum of the 6 numbers. Okay, that's -6. That's pretty small. And then I need to insert another row. Say that change of cash from investing activities. Okay, so basically it is just only one item. And then the next one, net change of cash from financing activities. Okay, this will be the sum of the three activities together. Okay, and then I need to have the net change of cash overall. Okay, basically this combines the three subtotals, one plus the second plus the third. Okay, so that's negative 213. All right, so this is the overview of my statement of cash flows, and I can just increase some indent there, home button, and then increase indent, and then here increase indent 1 2, and here 1 2. Okay, and also I can hide these rows. So I just hit data, and then the group function is right here. Hit this group, all right, and then hit this row, group, and hit these 3 rows again. I need to select shift, okay, to make sure these are all selected. So the reason here is if I check the instruction, it says using the Excel group function, create an outline on the statement of cash flow that when collapsed show only the subtotals for each section. So if I collapse it, so by hitting this button number 1, you will see that's my subtotals for 3 activities and overall the grand total. Okay, if I hit the button number 2 again, it will be expanded. All right, so this would be the statement of cash flows. And also for the balance sheet, you see right here, I still need to put in another formula. So this 27 actually come from the original cash balance plus the statement of cash flows, the finalized item right here. You see, still I got a 27, but now I put a formula behind it. Okay, so now I have completed the construction of the financial statements with all necessary formulas. So everything here clicks. What do I mean by that? Let's say if I want to increase my long-term bonds, so I want you to observe this number, just observe this number. I want to increase it to a very crazy large number, let's say 100,000 or 1 million. Okay, let's say 1 million. So what would happen is you see the total assets and total liabilities and equity always match each other, so this model works. If you increase long-term bonds, that also means you have a lot of cash just by borrowing more money. Okay, so that is one way to verify what I did here are correct. Okay, or I can just put another crazy large number, let's say 9 million. All right. So what happens there is my net income increased dramatically, and on the balance sheet you see my cash increased, my retained earnings increased, and still the total assets and the total liabilities and equity match. All right, so that's just several ways to verify the financial model. So any change later on, if you want to put, okay, if anything you want to change, okay, and it will be correctly reflected in this machinized financial statements. All right, so now we are done with this part. Okay, so if I keep reading the instruction, here it comes to the calculation of financial ratios. So here are the ratios I want to create and calculate. So what I can do here is I will copy this picture, right? And then I'm going to create a new spreadsheet. This time I want to name it as financial ratios. Okay, financial ratios. And under this financial ratios, I have all these items to create. So I have 2 years against 2018 and 2017. All right. So the ratios I have here are current ratio, quick ratio, inventory turnover ratio, accounts receivable turnover, time interest earned ratio, cash coverage ratio, total debt ratio, okay, long-term debt ratio, gross profit margin, net profit margin, ROA, return assets, and ROE. Okay, oops, ROA and ROE. Okay, so now I don't need this picture. So I'm going to get all the ratios done here. The thing is, I will need to use the sales on the balance sheet. I don't want to switch from one sheet to another back and forth. That's just too much tedious work. So what I can do here is to hit the view button again, view at a new window, and then I have 2 windows for the same file. Okay, and then I want to hit the view again and arrange all. I want to do it a vertical arrangement. Okay, now we're talking. So basically I want this side to show the ratios I'm interested in, and I want this right hand side to show the balance sheet from where I'm going to get all the numbers. All right, and I can also put a little bit space here, drag it a little bit. So now, so let's do the current ratio. My current ratio basically is my current assets. It is my current assets, right here, divided by current liabilities. It's right here. Okay, current assets divided by current liabilities. That's it. And then I can just drag it all the way to replicate the same ratio for the other year. And my quick ratio basically is my total current assets excluding inventory, okay, excluding inventory minus inventory, and then divided by the same denominator, which is the total current liabilities. Okay. All right. And for inventory turnover, it is actually my sales. Okay, it is my sales. I'm needing this sales divided by my inventory right here. Okay, and then drag it. So right here I use the sales from income statement divided by the inventory from the balance sheet. All right, and then for accounts receivable, I'm going to use sales divided by, again, account receivable. Okay, drag it. Time interest earned ratio. Now I need to use items on the income statement. So right here, time interest earned ratio is my EBIT, okay, or operating profit divided by interest. All right. Okay, and then I can just drag it all the way. And the cash coverage ratio, it is my EBIT plus depreciation. So I need to recover the depreciation, then divided by my interest. All right. And for total debt ratio, I need to get back to the balance sheet. The total debt ratio is my total debt divided by total assets. Okay, total debt divided by total assets, and then drag it. Long-term debt ratio is basically my long-term debt divided by the total assets. Okay, and then drag it. Gross profit, well, this time I need to get back to the income statement again. So gross profit basically is my sales minus the cost of goods sold, all right, then divided by sales. All right, and then drag it. My net profit is my net income divided by the sales, and then drag it. Return on assets, it is my net profit, okay, or net income divided by the total assets. Okay, and then drag it. And return on equity, it is the net income divided by the total equity. It's right here, total common equity, and then drag it. Okay, and that's basically include everything here. And if you look at the instruction, it also asks you to do a do-bound method and analyze the change of ROE. So what you need to do here is put a do-bound method, okay, the name for it, and then you will need to get the ROE. The thing is, the ROE is made up of 3 components. That is equity multiplier, net profit margin, and also assets turnover ratio. Okay. So the equity multiplier is your total assets divided by your total equity. Okay, so that's total assets divided by total equity. Net profit margin is something we have already calculated. It's right here. Just borrow the number. Okay, and assets turnover is sales over total assets. So sales is from income statement divided by. Okay, I want you to watch this formula bar divided by total assets. It's right here. Hit enter. All right, and the ROE based on do-bound method would be the product of the 3. Is the equity multiplier, which is a measurement of leverage, times net profit margin, which is a measurement of profitability, times assets turnover, which is measurement of efficiency. Okay. So as you can see, the ROE from do-bound method is the ROE we directly calculated from the financial statements. All right. So now I really don't like the format of the numbers, so I can basically reduce the decimals. Okay, let's say for these numbers, decrease decimal. Okay, make it look a little bit short and crisp and nicer. And for these margins, and I want them to be in percentage. Okay, and say likewise for the ROE, I want it to be in percentage. Nice and easy. And for this net profit margin percentage, okay, and for the equity multiplier, then I wanted to decrease the decimal. All right, so that's the format of the ratios. And what do we do about this DuBound method? I need to analyze the change of ROE. Well, what happened to my ROE here is it decreased. Do you see? No matter you look at this row or this row, my return on equity decreased from 13.9% to 12.6%. All right, and where did that come from? Well, you see that my net profit margin actually declines. Do you see that? So from 4.3 to 3.9, my profitability actually decreases. That's bad. And also my assets turnover declines, right? That's also bad. I have less efficiency in terms of managing my assets of generating revenue. The thing is, the equity multiplier actually increases, and that's not necessarily good because I have more debt, and that's financial distress. So these three stories: the change of leverage, okay, increase the leverage, and decline the profitability, and also decline the efficiency. They all contribute to the decline of ROE. So that's your story. All right, make sure you save this, and you will turn it in as it is. So you have income statement, here are the formula view, okay, and you have a balance sheet, here is the formula view, financial ratios, that's the formula view, and the income statement, statement of cash flows, that's the formula view. All right, so that's basically what you need to do.